and getting to the studio, was really good.
Some days when it's like this early in the morning, it gives some people some kind of chills and they just get a little bit comfortable.
They just pull up the is it
The
the
duvet.
duvet
And go
and
back to
cover the
sleep.
legs.
Some
Oh
people
my
are actually
God.
wish, oh, please, Rain, come down so I have an excuse not to go out.
I used to say that, when we're in school, during Hamatan, you see a lot of students, they like to sleep and wake up when the sun has come out. A few of us, we always go to the classroom in the night, go do some reading. We'll carry our blankets to the class to read, while others, they use their blanket and pull over their legs. But when we get to the exam hall, you see people begin to blow whistle. But I always say that the fact that there was Hamatan and you didn't read is not an excuse to answer a question or not answer a question. So what I need to do today, I'm saying all that to say this, that you need to just step out today and go do what you have to do. Life does not, give you the opportunity to advance those excuses. Okay, so you just rise up this morning. If you are for business, go for business. If you are for job work, go do your thing. If you are, setting up something, just go do it. Okay, and I believe that you'll succeed.
And after all, there's a provision for umbrellas, provision for raincoats.
Yes,
That's why we have
yes,
those
yes,
things.
yes. Umbrella, raincoat, and all that. People, you just have to make up your mind that, if it's to succeed, nothing is going to stop you. Some people say nothing is going to stop me, but when rain falls, rain stops them. I would laugh. But let's do this morning. Of course, we didn't allow anything to stop us from coming on the show this morning. And, today we just want to, consider how you can actually manage your money. Money management skills is one of the things we want to touch this morning. How you can manage your money.
Okay. How you can manage your money. So
Yes.
more or less, you have earnings, you have something that gives you money. So now it's not like the money is not coming in. Now the money is coming in, but you have to put it to judicious use.
Yes.
You have to manage it so that you don't live above your earnings.
Your earnings. There's this trilogy of our conversation, especially in our system, talking about money. Making it, managing it, and multiplying it.
Making it,
yes,
managing it,
yes,
then multiplying.
And so everybody wake up every morning to go make money. Okay, so you see people, they are everywhere this morning or today, all over the world. They're going to work, they're going to the farm, they're going to the office, they're going to the business place. Whatever they're doing, it is in a bid to make money. Okay, so that's a level. Everybody wants to make more money. In fact, more. Now, but the challenge is when this money is made, what happens to the money?
Okay. How do you utilize it?
Yes, how do you appropriate?
Yes,
appropriate the money.
That's
that's where a lot of people have challenge.
Some people have this habit of I don't have money. I have this to do with money. I don't have money, but immediately the money drops.
the tempo change.
They start spending recklessly. You go to the supermarket, you start picking up things at random. Things you need and things you don't need.
The
you
same,
don't have a
the
list.
same thing. You pick 7 colors, rainbow.
so this is very prompt. We need to learn how to manage our resources. So let's delve right into it.
Thank you very much, Double O. Yeah, this morning we want to look at money management skills. How you can actually manage your money. Nobody can actually tell you how to spend your money, but if you don't manage your money well, it's actually going to tell on you. So regret is not something that you should wait to have in life. I see some people, they get to a point in life, probably at age 65 or at retirement, and they look back and they begin to realize that there are ways they could have done certain things better. They realize that probably that time they had 3 cars, they could have bought one and used the other money to buy maybe 2 plots of land and keep somewhere. They just realized so many things that they could have done, but they didn't do. So, talking about managing your money is synonymous to saying you need to manage your life well, okay? Because, I always say that you use your energy and everything you've got, which is your life, to make money. We work for money almost all our lives. We stress for money. If you look at the thinking pattern of majority of Nigerians, you will realize that they think about money more than they think about every other thing or any other thing. Maybe things like money, maybe God, maybe things like sex or something. But money ranks at a very high degree. What they wake up every morning. You wake up this morning, probably as you thought of going out or doing a particular thing, the first thing that confronted is that where is the money? Where will I get the money? Or how much will it cost? So money everywhere. So when we talk about money, somebody don't criticize us that we're always talking about. If we don't talk about money, what are we going to talk about? So we are not hypocrites, and we don't want to be hypocritical about the issue of this money matter. So we need to begin to have this conversation around how can you manage your money well, okay? So it's not so much of how much you earn, it's so much of how well you are able to manage what you've got. Okay, so in this country today, there are people who are earning probably the minimum wage of 30,000. I don't know if they are paying that already in this our terrain. Okay, 30,000 naira, and there are families who are earning that. The man's got a wife and 2 kids, or 1 or 3 children, and he's at that level where his basic is 30,000, and the man is still managing to pull through. There's another person who is at the level of 300,000 a month. And of course, there's another person who is at the level of 3 million a month. So, in life, men are in sizes. Life is in stages. So whatever stage that you are right now, maybe you are having 20,000 naira, take home. Of course, we call that a take home that will not take you home. Or you are having 200, or you're having 2 million. Whatever it is, now it is the same management skill you will use to manage 10 million that you need to use to manage 1,000 or 5,000. If you cannot save and invest and make judicious plans when you have small, you cannot save, invest, and also make judicious plan when you have plenty, okay? Because essentially, savings and managing your money is essentially a function of habit. It is not circumstantial, okay? And that's why you see people, the money will come in because their habit is to blow it all. They will just end up blowing it all. I've had encounter with a young man who came to my office, I think sometimes last year. He heard me on radio on one of the shows and came and said, I was talking about how to save, and you need to save, and if you don't save, the consequences of not saving. And he came, he said, sir, I came so that you tell me the magic wand. What can I do? Because my case is bad. Maybe as I speak right now, your case is equally bad. You cannot save money. You cannot save money. And he said, I ride a tricycle. And I submit, I think, was it 1.5 or 2.5? He said he submits every day to the owner of the tricycle. So sometimes after submitting, he has maybe like 3,000 or 4,000 on daily basis extra for himself that he has worked after paying the owner of the machine. He's able to keep that. And he said, what happens to me is that I end up spending everything that day. In fact, I make sure that nothing is left. If by 11 o'clock I check my pocket and I'm still seeing 700 naira, he said I will go out that night and look for something to buy. If the money does not finish, I cannot sleep. Now, that is just a money management skill that he has got, but it's not a good one. Are you at that level this morning where you find it difficult to keep things away? You cannot lock up money somewhere. You cannot actually, you don't have that ability to handle money. You don't grow big to manage well. We always say it here, but you manage well in order to grow big, and you grow big in stages, okay? So your growth is like a ladder. So if you lack the ability to manage money, manage financial resources, you are just going to be running around in a particular circle. You're going to run today, the money is plenty. Tomorrow, the money is gone. Such people, money does not mean money in their hands. Before another paycheck comes, the last paycheck is gone and something is being owed. So this new paycheck, at least 50% or 70% of it is gone already before the paycheck drops. Are you living such a life? Is that how you are handling the affairs of your business? There are some people who essentially, survive on credit. They pay, and they continue eating credit until they get the pay. They continue eating credit. You cannot, grow wealth. You cannot be rich that way. You cannot live the bottom line that way. You will always become one of the masses who will always complain in this country. So today we help to your doorstep. You're listening to this radio. This can just be the deliverance you seek. This can just be, that point where you can make up your mind. There was this young man, this story, I read in the holy books, in the Bible. His case was so serious that they didn't even mention his name. Whether his name was John or Peter or Zachariah, nobody knew. They just called him the prodigal son. His character, his attitude nicknamed him. And all through history, I don't think anybody will ever know his name. They will always refer to him as the wasteful son, the prodigal son, the son who cannot manage anything. And why was he prodigal? It was because of his action, the way he handled the resources that were available to him. First of all, he went to place a demand for his inheritance when his father was still alive. That means he wanted to start eating tomorrow, today. Are you listening to this broadcast this morning and your lifestyle suggests that you are already eating your future? Yeah, you are already eating your future. You are borrowing ahead. You are living large. But what you are living large on is not your own. You are not managing well. You cannot grow that way. And what he did, he took everything. And I like the word that chapter used. He said he went out there to a far country. He had a lot of friends. He lived riotously. So when you spend what you don't have, or you spend more than what you earn, you are actually living riotously. There's riot going on somewhere in your life. And riot is not a stable thing. Riot is something that is disorganized, violent, and deadly. He began to live riotously, and at a point, he everybody became his friends, because everybody becomes a friend to the man who has. Listen, a lot of people around you, they're not loyal to you as a person. They are loyal to what you can give them. They greet you most times because of the benefits they get after greeting you. The day they stop getting that benefit, check it if they are still going to greet you. Check it if they are still going to call your phone. Now, if you begin to live on the praise of those kind of systems, those kind of people, politics, people praise people a lot. And the moment the man loses the election, his house becomes a ghost town. You can't afford to allow that to happen to you as a person. You must plan for your future. And we talk about planning every day, and that is one of the ways to manage your money. So the first thing you must do in the effective management of your money resources is that when money comes into your space, your account, or your hand, wherever the money comes in, first of all, stop. S-T-O-P. Stop and sit down. Okay? Sit down. Stop wherever you are and sit down. And right now, if some money just came into probably your account, today is 5th or 6th of the new month. Maybe they paid you salary for last month and you have not touched it. Yeah, this is the time to sit down. Or you still have part of it left. This is the time to sit down. Do you see a man who wants to build a great future financially? Do you see a man who wants to, has the dream of being wealthy? And, the righteous man, they say, leave it an inheritance. You want to be a man who enjoys prosperity and is also able to distribute for posterity. You need to have the capacity at a point in your life, you sit down. So this morning, you want to sit down. As you hear these things I'm saying, you need to sit down. And how do you sit down? You sit down on the chair and lay your back on that chair. Take a pen and a paper. You now want to sit down and count the cost. You want to say, how much do I earn? You want to say, how much do I owe? You want to say, you write it down. You want to say, how much does it cost me to live? If you have not done that before, you want to do that this morning. How much does it cost me to live? I'm talking about the cost of living. The money you used to buy water, the money you used to barb your hair, you buy food, you transport, your life. How much does it cost you to sustain yourself to be alive? That is the cost of living. Your cost of living. Your cost of living, by the way, should not be more than what you earn. So you must live within your means, okay? So you need to calculate or be able to determine exactly how much it costs you to live. Your resources are not infinite. Your resources are finite. So you need to make strategic plans for your money, okay? So you need to look at your cost of living. You need to look at things like rent. You know, I've always advised that you don't wait till the end of the year before you start struggling that, my rent is due this month. What do I do? You can begin to pay your rent instrumentally. I know your landlord will not collect that rent from you instrumentally. Maybe you are paying 2,000 every day. No landlord is going to do that. But you can set up a system where you pay your rent daily. I do that. What I simply do is that I have a savings culture, I have a system that is automated. So I was okay, I pay maybe 500,000 naira every year. So I take 500,000, I divide it by 12. It gives me the cost of my rent per month. Then I now further divide that one portion of it by 30 days of the month, and I get what it takes, what my rent accrues to every 24 hours. What I simply do is that I save that amount on daily basis. I might not be able to save it every day, but I try to save that amount every day. So if it's 2,000 naira, I begin to save 2,000 every day. At the end of the year, when I look at that savings pot, I've got my rent. Even if there is a discrepancy, it will be more than 50,000 or 20,000 naira. I just find a way to make it up and I go pay my rent. I can never knock on somebody's door tomorrow and say, oh, my rent is due. My landlord said I should pack out. No, it will never happen because, it comes as a function of management and it requires you to sit down and decide how you can appropriate your money. So you need to appropriate your money, your cost of living, you're taking care of your children. Of course, there is school fees. And if you are somebody that is running on a mono economy, when I say mono economy, I'm talking about you only earn money from one source. Just your salary is the only way you get money. It's challenging. It's going to be difficult for you. Definitely difficult, especially in times like this. There are no interest rates from the banks. Investments, out there, a lot of them are not doing well. How do you do your job is not increasing salaries. Actually, they are reducing your salary. Some of you are living on half salary right now. Your business is being affected. A lot of things. So you need to look at it. If you are earning a mono salary, you need to now glean wisdom on how to open up channels of more inflow. Because if you are at a small level, the first thing you need to think of is inflow. Then you now think of management, of course. But whatever comes in, whether 10,000 comes in or 100 or 1 million naira comes in, you need to have a set principle. You need to create a mold. Okay, just like a cup, you pour water. The water assumes the shape of that cup. So you need to create those kind of mold for your money. So when your salary drops in, as you pour the money through the big funnel, it distributes into the different modes. So maybe 3,000 distributes to transport, 8,000 distribute to feeding, 22,000 distributes to school fees or something. You just distribute it, and those different ecosystem or those different pots will be holding those value little by little. Next month you pour again, the other month you pour again, the other month you pour again. After a while, you will discover that you are now having something in your savings for your rent. You are having something in your savings for probably your children's school fees. Now children have resumed school, and on my children's school WhatsApp platform, a lot of parents are talking, oh, we lost our jobs, oh, the COVID-19 did this to all of us. Yes, I can tell you, in the next 5 years, there are still going to be people crying out of the fact that COVID-19 happened in 2020, and that will be 2025. Some people that are crying right now, it is not COVID-19 that actually brought them to that level. It is the planlessness of 5 years ago, their lack of management 3 years ago, that brought them. COVID-19 just exposed their planlessness, just exposed the fact that they don't have savings, just expose the fact that they don't have an investment culture, expose the fact that they don't have capacity to keep something away. They still behave like children, though they are men. And why am I saying that? There are men and women who have children themselves, but they are still behaving like children, because anytime an uncle gives money to their children, their child goes to buy sweets, goes to buy, biscuits, goes to buy gala and egg. They themselves, when they get money, they go to spend on things that represent gala, egg, or sweets. Theirs might not be just the literal sweets, but they still spend money like children. There's no savings, because any time money comes, it is time to spend. Anytime money comes, it is time to spend. Something must be bought because money has come. You cannot sustain your financial future on that kind of a principle or that kind of a template. So you need to begin to manage. So the first principle I'm sharing this morning is the principle of taking your chair, sit down, pick a pen and a paper, and plan your resources. And you will see that if you plan your resources, you will always have enough, no matter the level of income. Okay? And two, you will also be able to create opportunity for yourself to save up something for an investment plan. And that is where we come in at the Leverage Hub Consulting. The Leverage Hub Consulting, we tell you how you can invest. But if you don't have, how can you invest? A lot of people listen to us on this show and they like what we are saying. Sometimes they are fired up. They even come for our master classes and seminars. But after listening, they stand up, they go away. They can't do anything because they are not empowered to do anything. Their pocket is empty. They say, okay, I will get back to you. I'm expecting something. No, you cannot build your life based on expectation like that. Hope is not a strategy to build a great future or a great finance. You can stay at the level of hope when you are just waiting for something to happen. But if you must make things happen, then you must be aggressive. Then you must be intentional. So I'm asking you this morning to begin to live intentionally financially. Let your financial plan be very intentional, okay? Don't leave it to chance. If I have money, I will do it. I will invest. If I don't have money, I will... No. Make up your mind. I am going to start a forex trading investment plan. Make up your mind. It's when you make up your mind, the forces of life, they begin to come to your aid. Life does not help anybody that his mind is not made up. So what are you making up your mind to do this morning? Have you sat down or are you sitting down after this broadcast and say, I am going to save 20% of every money that comes into my hand, no matter how hungry I am, no matter how difficult it is, I will lock out that money for savings, and in 6 months' time, I should have at least 100 or 200,000 to always, like I always say, approach the altar of investment. If you don't invest today, you don't reap tomorrow. It's just like a farmer. Any season that he does not put a seed on the ground, then the next harvest season, definitely something will happen to him. Definitely that thing will not be harvest, but that could be what? He begging other people who are harvesting. So you don't always want to beg every month end. You don't want to beg people and say, please, can you just borrow me 10,000, borrow me 15,000. No, the 15,000 or the 50,000 you have been earning for the last 7 years, what have you made of it? That's what I spend on living. Now, is your savings and investment not part of your life? Why have you abandoned that department so much that you are now suffering crucially for it? So you need to look at all these things. So you need to, look for a way. You must plan yourself out. Today we are talking about sitting down and planning. Tomorrow, we are still going to bring you another segment of how to manage. We started this week by talking about, living your best life. And I want to help you live your best life financially. That is what, this show is all about. That is what the Leverage Hub is all about. How you can live your best life financially. And we are still saying that we have opportunities for you to invest in Forex, from 22% return on investment every month up to 30%. You can actually have that, and it's very safe and secured. 07089021144, 07089154422 is the number. You can send a text message to me or you send a WhatsApp message to me. I'll be waiting at the end for your call. Until I see you again tomorrow, God bless you. Have a beautiful day.
5 Wish FM and Genius Business Radio in Port Harcourt.